Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, audazes! Vamos dar prosseguimento aí com The Stanley Parable. Resolvi fazer mais esse vídeo mostrando mais alguns finais. A intenção não é ver todos, mas sim ver até onde vai a loucura desse jogo. Vamos tentar dessa vez apertar o off. Não percebi muito bem o que eu estava fazendo.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind.
Tá difícil aqui, pessoal, porque eu tô jogando com controle.
But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Ele ficou bravo porque eu cortei a narração dele. Caraca, vai botar música New Age, eu mereço. Mas que jogo maluco, cara.
And rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Os caras, quando fizeram esse jogo, eles pensaram bastante no que as pessoas iam fazer quando cada coisa acontecesse pra fazer esse narrador aí, porque olha, ele sabe tudo que tu tá fazendo e sabe tudo que tu vai fazer. Isso é uma árvore de acontecimentos que eles pegaram e fizeram e pensaram em tudo que o jogador ia fazer, né? Mas mesmo assim, é complicado de se fazer uma coisa dessa. Vamos lá.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
É interessante essa disposição de lugares que fizeram aqui para cada botão. Tem que ir de uma torre para outra para ficar apertando o botão. Só para isso. É muito dinheiro gasto. Cada torre tem um botão e só isso, mais nada.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
Vamos lá.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
É divertido o jogo, né? Mais pela história, pela questão do narrador, a gente fica curioso para saber no que vai dar toda essa loucura. Bom, até agora já deu 2 vezes em morte, né? Mas vamos ver nas próximas tentativas. Ah, tão escuro que nem tinha visto que já tinha chego.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and
Apertamos o botão certo, eu acho, dessa vez. Vamos ver.
blackness and
Morremos de
a rising
novo, será?
chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles
não tô
still
enxergando
remained
nada.
unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Porta onde,
How had
cara?
he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Aqui.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to
Isso vai dar
understand,
pra rua?
but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
Tá muito
It was
fácil.
perhaps the
Quer ver que
only
saiu uma
thing
tela?
worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of
Olha
a
aí,
new path
não sou eu que tô
before him.
controlando.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley
O lugar é bonito,
was
né?
happy.
Stanley se aposentou, pelo visto. Foi pra uma fazenda e se aposentou. Zeramos o jogo.
This is
Vamos
the
dar só
story
mais
of
uma tentada.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ah não, é por aqui a gente já veio, né? Aquela hora, então vamos pegar esse daqui.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Eita, nós, vamos ver no que vai dar essa daí agora. Eu nem achei que ia acontecer mesmo de funcionar esse elevador.
But
Achei que só
Stanley
ia
didn't
dar uma
want to go
fala
back
do
to the office.
narrador.
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Ai, caramba.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Caramba. Ele vai olhar o mapa agora.
Went down, right, left, down, left, right.
Então o narrador tá perdido.
Okay, yes.
Você achou?
I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ih, rapaz, não tinha nada a ver. Que loucura. Parece os carros do Max Payne, do primeiro jogo do Max Payne. Ih, caramba.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Caraca, fechar os olhos, que jeito, que botão que fecha os olhos.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Tá bom. Vamos lá.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Que
What could it mean?
maluquice.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Quantos
simply
finais
missed a
será
memo.
mais que tem? Ah,
When Stanley...
Ué?
Wait.
não é o mesmo
What?
lugar.
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something
Caramba.
change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay,
E aí, agora?
it's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Putz, grila. Nossa, olha o tanto de possibilidade agora. Caraca. Tá. Onde é que isso vai dar, cara? Maluquice. Ué, voltamos pro escritório, será?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than
Todos
this.
os lugares acabam nessa
Okay,
sala
let's
de
give
novo.
it a shot. Why not?
Reiniciou o jogo de novo. Tá certo.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Vamos lá novamente. Ah,
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
caraca. Aonde ele quer que eu vá? Só dá pra retornar pra minha sala?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Cara, mudou o corredor.
No, wait,
Não.
never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Que maluquice. Agora tem... não tem nada. Ai. Estamos indo lá pro depósito.
Now this...
É cenário em
Well, I'll be honest, I
construção
don't
ainda,
recognize this place at
provavelmente.
all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Que barbaridade.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Que barbaridade.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Não tem nada aqui.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this
Vai
place
reiniciar de
is.
novo.
I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Sabia. Óbvio que ele...
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Caraca, tá. Tem uma linha agora pra gente seguir. Tá, mas o caminho era por ali, né? Ah, a sala do computador com paciência. Tá. Vamos seguir a linha, então.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story.
Cara.
Simply by the act of moving
E nós vamos pra
forward,
sala do
are
chefe,
we
será?
implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa.
Caraca, agora a linha tá...
Weird back there?
Putz,
Well, I'd
que
like to
maluquice,
apologize.
cara.
Not sure where I was going with all that. You
É,
know what?
é um
I
recado
think
do
what we
Charada.
need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Caceta. Peraí. Tá. Olha a música, cara. Nossa, tá alta pra caramba, meu. Nossa, velho. Estourar meus ouvidos. Não acaba mais essa linha. Ai, não vai me levar aonde?
Cut the music. Go
Ah,
back
ainda bem.
and look at that fern.
Que? Pra Samambaia?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Que? Isso me fez lembrar de um filme que eu olhei na Netflix esses tempos, que era o Between Two Ferns, Entre Duas Samambaias. Eu não sei como é que é o nome em português, ou se tem nome em português, mas é muito engraçado. Recomendo vocês
We're
assistirem.
back at the office? No.
Caramba.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Ah,
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore.
vai começar de novo.
Restart.
Brincadeira, meu. Tá bom, vamos lá.
You know what, Stanley?
Yeah.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Vamos lá então. Que loucura,
Now,
como é que...
yes,
Quantos
this
final tem
is
esse jogo,
exciting.
caramba?
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Não tem nada
I'm
aqui, não
ready
tem
for
porta,
it.
não tem nada. Como é que eu vou usar minha imaginação, narrador?
Oh, no,
Ah,
not you
caramba.
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Não reconhecer a linha, tá bom. Mereço. Ela vai aparecer de novo, quer ver?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Ah,
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
Nossa, que
So
maluquice
starting
esse
from
louco
the
tá
right,
falando.
let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
O final confuso.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
Caraca.
Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
O melhor desse jogo é ficar ouvindo o
No,
narrador,
it
cara.
can't be.
É muito
I
engraçado
don't
esse
want it
maluco.
to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So...
Não aconteceu nada.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
Reiniciou.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's
Vamos ver o que
incredible he
acontece
wasn't
nesse
5 years
final aqui
ago.
agora. Aquela hora a gente veio... Aquele primeiro momento a gente veio pra cá.
Look, Stanley, I
Ainda
think
pra pular
perhaps
daqui?
we've gotten off on the wrong foot. But in his eagerness to prove that he
Ah!
is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to
Morreu.
his death.
Tá
Good
certo.
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Ok. Vamos lá.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Tá, vamos lá de
The lounge was
novo.
sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Essa dele se jogar e morrer foi mais engraçado até agora. Vamos lá.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is...
Oh.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have 0 consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I
Caraca,
really
que
do
massa,
want
cara.
to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Não, sem chance, cara. Ai, ai. Ficou bravo.
Now listen
Ah,
carefully, this is
caramba.
important.
Quantos
Stanley
final
walked
tem esse
through
troço,
the red
cara?
door.
Meu santo, vamos pelo da direita.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the
Okay.
red door.
Dessa vez não tem opção, é a porta vermelha.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The 2 of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right
Vamos
now.
ver.
Don't you see that it's
É
killing
só
us, Stanley?
corredor, corredor, corredor.
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think, Well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Reiniciou o jogo. Essa é a solução dele.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we
Que
just stay right
maluquice,
here,
cara.
right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel...
Esse jogo é uma viagem de
I
ácido,
actually feel
escutando
happy.
escutando Beatles, cara. Que viagem. Olha só. Vamos descer.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Tô indo de volta pro jogo. Vamos.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Tá bom, narrador inglês. Não tem sotaque meio inglês, não
no,
tem?
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Tá bom, vamos descer, vamos ver o que acontece. Já que ele reclamou. O que acontece se eu voltar? Olha aí que maluquice.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Tá, mas daí a gente vai ficar aqui sem fazer nada? Esperar um tempo aqui, vamos ver se acontece alguma coisa. Voltou a ser o céu estrelado e não aconteceu nada. Vamos embora. Já deu. Até ele parou de falar agora.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
Porque não adianta ficar lá parado, cara. Passar o dia inteiro lá.
Please, Stanley, think... No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God.
No.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Tô até ficando com pena do narrador agora.
Correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Caraca.
Like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Tô até ficando com pena desse maluco, cara.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
O que a gente ia fazer ficar naquela sala o dia inteiro, rapaz? Não dá.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Bom, vamos pegar agora e vamos...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the
Na hora de ir
door
para a
on his
sala do
left.
chefe, a gente vai descer as escadas.
Yet there was not a single
Pra ver o que
person here
acontece.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Vamos
office.
vamos descer. Dá pra descer mais ainda não? Tem aqui. Tem nada.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all
a moral é ficar aqui dando volta até o narrador parar de falar. Daí o jogo vai liberar a gente ou vai reiniciar.
This was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream.
Como é que nós vamos provar que sim?
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
E reiniciou o jogo.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oi! Até a história mudou.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Caraca!
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
O Stanley tava
I am
muito
sane.
louco.
I am in control
Acabou
of my
morrendo de
mind.
tanta loucura, coitado do
I
Stanley.
know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
E o Stanley já era. Mas então tá bom, pessoal. Não vou mostrar todos os finais aqui pra vocês também, porque senão perde a graça quando vocês forem jogar, tá certo? Obrigado aí quem acompanhou o vídeo. Se gostou, curta e compartilhe. Deixe nos comentários sua opinião e sugestão. E se ainda não é inscrito no canal, inscreva-se para acompanhar mais gameplays. Eu vou ficando por aqui. Até a próxima.